Hello and welcome back to the Pet Business Wellbeing podcast with me, Nathan Dunleavy. This is a podcast where we talk about the realities of running a pet business, the highs, the challenges, and most importantly, how to look after your well-being whilst you do it. Because running a business should support your life, not consume it. Hello everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so excited to bring you another episode today. Even more exciting that my next guest speaker is the amazing Diane. Diane, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
Oh, thank you so much, Nathan, for having me. I'm very well, thank you. You?
Very well. We were just saying offline, it's very warm in the UK at the moment. We're both near in Southampton on the south coast. I'm a sweaty Betty at the best of times. I'm having to wear a cap today, which I don't normally do because I've had a small operation on my head.
Oh,
Yeah, so I had a lump removed. So I've got a, I did, my hair's all a mess because I've got a shaved patch on my head. And I thought, I need to look a bit presentable. So I'll throw a cap on.
well, you are okay then.
No, it's fine. It was just a pesky, it's called a pillar cyst. And it was getting bigger and it was just getting on my nerves. So the doctors did a small operation to get it removed. And I've got some stitches and a bald patch in the middle of my head. So I didn't want to come on the podcast because it is going out in video form with looking a bit worse for wear.
Yeah, but
And as I said, it's very warm and I am a sweaty Betty. Yeah, but I'm so excited that you've come on, Diane. For those viewers or listeners who may not know you yet, please could you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
so I'm a dog photographer, short and sweet, and I'm working in the south of UK, so covering mainly Hampshire, Sussex, and Surrey. The reason I'm here, I believe, is because I released a book on muzzled dogs last year. And yeah, I'm really happy that you allowed me the space to talk about it.
Oh, you're most welcome. I love getting to speak to all different pet business owners who run different types of businesses, and even more when they are a published author and they've got a book out, and we can have a chat all about the book. So I'm so excited to be chatting to you about your book, Muzzled and Misunderstood, a love letter to my muzzled dog. I've got a copy here.
Yeah.
You very kindly sent me a copy at the end of last year, and it's fantastic. So we're going to be chatting about this fantastic book today. So, Diane, before we dive into the book itself, could you just tell us a little bit about your dog, your journey together, and what inspired you to create a book that challenges the stigma around muzzles in such a passionate and visual way?
The dog that you are talking about is Dee Dee. She's sleeping next to me. So if you hear any barking, that's going to be her. Oh,
That's okay. We like barking here. Mine are in the background barking. So.
Yeah. So yeah, as many dog owners, I had my first dog, Dougal, who is an absolute angel and is the best dog ever. He's 12 now. He's in the kitchen lounging there. And he's just so good that I thought that I nailed this dog ownership thing, and I'm so good and I can get a dog that it's a bit more active and we can have more fun together, because Dougal is a Scottie with little legs, low motivation and not many drive. So I got Dee Dee, the Irish Terrier, and I think I overdogged myself a bit. So my very first behaviorist told me that she's too much of a terrier. So whatever you think of as a terrier trait, she has it doubled. So she has a really short fuse. She has a very low tolerance level for normal dog things like bum sniffing. And she used to be reactive in the sense of, when you start, I'll finish it. And it was very hard to get her out of this mindset. But I did a lot of behavior adjustment training with her, and now she's a lot better. She's sometimes happy to just dogs to go somewhere else. But because of how she is, I decided that it's going to be the best to muzzle train her. So I woke her in a muzzle. And the main reason is that I don't want to keep her on the lead. She's a very happy dog when she's running around. She's very energetic. She's 95% of the time, she's good. We can come across a dog that she doesn't like and she can avoid them. But sometimes she can get into a quarrel, and I just want everyone to be safe if and when that's happening. Also, I think it's mainly for myself, because when she wasn't muzzled and these kind of interactions were happening, I was really nervous, and I called her nervously, and obviously but she's really tuned into me. So when I'm nervous, she's getting nervous. And
Yeah,
the best way to handle this is to put the management tool in place that can keep me calm, keep her safe, and keep the other dog safe.
definitely. Brilliant. So it all started with Dee and her muzzle then,
Yes.
did it? So did you have to try different muzzles first, and then you started taking pictures?
Yeah, so it's a funny story, because the first time around I started to muzzle train her, and I was never against muzzles. So when I first started to muzzle train her, that wasn't because of her reactivity. She was much younger then. She was just chewing the seat belt in the car. And those things are very expensive. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so I'm going to muzzle train her. But then she was around 8 months at the time. We did a couple of weeks of muzzle training, but then she stopped doing it. I just fell off. But this meant that when I decided to use a muzzle for her for management, it was much easier to actually finish the muzzle training for her, and it went really easily. For my own muzzle, I used the muzzle shop. So I just ordered what I thought would be a good size and a good type. So I ordered, because she has like a really narrow and small head. I went for a greyhound running muzzle. And when it arrived, I was like, I'm not too sure. It doesn't look too bad, but I'm not 100% sure. So I took a picture of it, sent it to the retailer, Fiona. I know her since that, because I'm ordering muzzles like every couple of months. So I asked her, what does she think? And she also thought that a size bigger would be better for her. I'm using those muzzles, and if you say that those muzzles are not bite proof, I'm not going to argue with that, because those are not 100% bite proof. But I have not said that yet, but she actually has never bitten. Even when she had the opportunity and she wasn't muzzled and she got into a quarrel, it was all the fluff, and nothing really happened. She pinned down the other dog, and it looked like horrendous. But
Yeah.
she did not bite, although she had the opportunity. So I don't really think she's a bite risk, but that doesn't prevent me for being nervous. And also, when you see like this whole like dogfight thing, the owner of the other dog, I think he would feel also safer if you can see that the dog is actually muzzled. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Makes you like a responsible dog owner, doesn't it, as
Yeah.
well?
Yes. And back to this question. So when I didn't really have any, as I said, I never had any things against muzzle. I just thought that it's just a tool and we are going to use it and this kind of stuff. And I personally didn't really have bad experiences or abuse or anything. And I think it's mainly because she looks harmless. She looks very wiggly. I think most people think that she's muzzled because she eats something. So I never really had a problem like that. But I was a training assistant at Sussex County Dog Training, and I met a good few people there who had reactive dogs, and they were like really against muzzle training their dogs. They thought that it is cruel, that the dog won't be able to be a dog afterwards, and all these things. And I just felt, so for example, there was a lady who rather let the dog trail a long line than muzzle train a dog. And obviously, I wasn't arguing with her, but what are the chances that if your dog lunges at another dog, you can grab the wrong long line? So I thought that this stigma is affecting dogs negatively. And that was before the XL bully ban. So I started to photograph muzzle dogs. I think they were planning the ban already, but it was not introduced yet. But first time around I started, I just reached out to a couple of people who I found on Instagram, and I knew that they are muzzling their dogs, and I put out a little model call as well. So I was just like, I didn't really know what I'm going to do or what I want to do. I just knew that as I have this skill, the photography skill, I want to do something with it in order to help fighting the stigma. And the whole thing just didn't get together in my head at that point, but action is the best way to find your way if you don't know what to do. So I started photographing these dogs. Then I put it on the back burner a bit until somehow the idea came of the love letters, because I think what really makes this book are the love letters. So yeah, I can take beautiful images, but humans are storytelling animals. And before I had this idea of getting the guardians to write a love letter, I just wasn't sure how to present the pictures, how to put them into context, how to convey the mixed emotions and all these. It's a really hard place to be in when you know that this is the best thing to do for your dog, but you are not too sure how society is going to react, and you don't want. You have enough problems with your dog without dealing with people. So it's a really hard place to be in. And I really wanted to convey this message. And when this idea of the love letters came up, I was just that's it. It needs to be a book, needs to be love letters, and it gave another kick to the whole project. So yeah, this is how it happened.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, I know what you mean about the stigma around muzzles. Even before the XL bully ban, people would just see a muzzle and it would be that maybe the dog is aggressive or the dog is reactive, because reactive is such a broad term, but it's a word that the public understand. But there's a number of reasons a dog could be reactive. But yeah, originally you'd maybe see a muzzle and you'd think, oh, almost back away or keep your distance. And I think it's great that you've been trying to help break down that stigma. A lot of it comes down to education to the public. There's a number of reasons a dog could be muzzled. It could be medical reasons. It could be that obviously they eat things that they shouldn't be eating, or not even just food, but they could eat other items. They could eat other dogs' poop. There could be obviously that there was a bite history, but there's a number of reasons that a dog could be muzzle trained. And it's important that we break down that stigma, because people are just too quick to judge. And I just love how you've gone about it, because when I used to do dog training classes in person, I used to do puppy classes. I used to incorporate muzzle training into my puppy class schedule. And people were like, oh, why are we learning this? And I was like, there could be times at the vets or at the groomers that your dog is going to be muzzled. And it's already a stressful experience for them at the vets or at the groomers. If they're suddenly having this muzzle forced on them, it's going to like make their bucket even more full. They're going to be more reactive. They're going to be more stressed. So I said, there's a number of reasons that your dog should be muzzle trained, just in case they have to be put in one at the vets or the groomers, or if they go into kennels. So I used to do something called the cone game.
Yeah.
And we used to use cones, and we'd desensitize the cone, and we'd obviously use squirty cheese or treats to obviously get the dogs used to putting their nose into the cone. And I was like, you can use like a Costa cup or a Starbucks cup, but just get your dog used to having that, because it's quite an alien thing for a dog to have it around them. So yeah, I introduced it in my puppy classes. I said it's so important all dogs are muzzle trained, and it was just a really good skill for the owner to know about, to condition those muzzles. Yeah, so I think it's great that what you've done, and how you've put like a spin of a love letter to your dog on it as well, because like you say, some owners can feel bad about it, but they're putting a more lovely spin on it. They're making it a love letter to their dogs.
Yeah, as I'm sure loving a reactive dog is a hard thing. It's so many mixed emotions. That there is that saying that I love you, but I really don't like you now. And yeah, and that's true so many times when we have these challenging dogs. I have to call them challenging because I think that's more descriptive than reactive. So yeah, I really think that one of the best thing I did was to muzzle train Dee, and it gave me so much peace of mind. Yeah, and she improved a lot. And again, she's never actually bitten. But yeah, she's the dog that if she would pull a muscle, and I wouldn't know because how would I know? And then a dog would come up to her, she would definitely be a lot more on edge and would tell them to piss off very quickly. So yeah, she's very moody and can be like a bit unpredictable in this way.
So you're just being the responsible owner and basically protecting her, protecting other dogs, other people as
Yeah,
well, aren't you?
yeah, that's my goal.
Yeah. And I just think it's great because, like you say, the XL Bully ban came in. Obviously, all those dogs had to be like put in a muzzle, and you see a muzzled dog, and instantly, before I got into dog training, it was like, oh, it's just that perception, and it's a shame that we are quick to judge, but it's just so important to. There's more going on, like context, just more understanding, more education. So, in terms of the book, then, obviously, there's all different pictures of all these beautiful dogs in their lovely muzzles, and they're all different colours. And then the pet parent has then obviously wrote a letter to that dog, a love letter. So, did you say that you put a call out? How did you get to feature these different dogs then in the book?
I had model calls and they needed to fill out an application. And so there were two ways to get in. So they could fill in an application. I got in touch and we arranged a session. Or there was two occasions, one in Wales and one here in Rumsey, where I had an enclosed field and they could book in their slots. So that was more like, it looked more like a mini session type of thing when you are doing that. And yeah, so those were the two ways. And also I got in touch with the Greyhound Rescue, Portsmouth Greyhound Rescue, if you can. So the last chapter in the book is their dogs. Because greyhounds are muzzled, especially these express racing greyhounds. So I got in touch with
Yeah.
them to feature their dogs. And yeah, that was how I got the dogs in. Yeah, there is still an Instagram page for the project. I got people get in touch there. I when I was having problems finding a certain breed, I put out a call for that breed because I had like tons of Excel bodies applying, but very few Labradors.
Oh, yeah. Labradors, yeah. It's because you don't often see a Labrador, do you? Unless, obviously, typical Labradors, they do eat a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, in the end, so my goal with the book was to incorporate as many breeds as I can, as well as many reasons for being muzzled as I can. So yeah, dogs there. I think at least I can, from the top of my head, I can think of at least three dogs that are muzzled because of pica. So
Yeah, yeah.
they are eating stuff that are unedible. Four. So there is the tiny papillon who's eating pebbles, the Weimaraner, she's over it now, but when we were having the pictures, when we were taking the pictures, she was eating poo bags, skiing gloves, but it cost the mom a fair amount. The English Bull Terrier that's in the book, he's not only eating everything, so he has pica, but he also has uh, I, IBD, so he's on hydrolyzed food. He shouldn't be eating anything.
Because he's got it. Yeah, IBD, irritable
IBD,
bowel disease, or yeah.
yeah, and yeah, and he was eating inedible stuff as well when he was a pup, and still now today. Yeah, so he doesn't give his mom any break, bless him. So yeah, so that's why he's muzzled. He's the friendliest dog ever. I have dogs there that are muzzled because, so the Great Dane is muzzled because he was playing a bit rough, and just to
Yeah.
show the other owners that he's not going to hurt anyone and that he's safe to play with. So yeah,
Is that Otis?
yeah, Otis the Great Dane. Yeah. So yeah, I try to, when I read the applications, I always read why the dog is muzzled, what's the breed, what's the color. I wanted to also include as many muzzle types as I could, except of the mesh muzzle, because I don't think those should be worn. Those are not safe. So I didn't want to show any of them. But other than that, you can see some wired muzzles in there. A lot of muzzle movement, muzzles. Baskerville was one of my sponsors. A lot of the muzzles are Baskerville muzzles. Yeah, and the muzzle shop muzzles as well. There is even a vinyl muzzle on Shadow, the GSD, and that was ordered from America. I think it's a Mia's muzzle. Anyway, it's a vinyl muzzle that it's very rare in the UK.
Oh, okay. Oh, so Baskerville, who are muzzle makers, they sponsored the book or the project, did they?
Yeah. Yes, they sponsored the book. Yes. Yeah. So
Brilliant. Oh, okay.
so they have a
Yeah.
couple of pages featured in the back. So they were my main sponsors. And Pact also sponsored the book. I always forget what the stands for. Professional.
Professional Association of Canine Trainers. Yeah. PACT. Yeah.
The ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they were also sponsors. So yeah, in order to make this book happen, I could have dragged out this project for years and working on it for years and just trying to get it done. Or the other way was like, okay, try to get some sponsors, and then I don't have this money pressure, and then I can get it done earlier or sooner rather than later. So yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. Did you time it with the XL bully ban, or did it take more shape after that or before?
No, I don't think that was a real consideration. No, the project was ongoing when it happened. And then when I started to work on it, like more focused, photographing the dogs, it was almost exactly a year ago. By that time, the ban was already on. So no, it wasn't like planned into the project in any way, shape or form.
Brilliant. So did it start more of a project then? And like you say, you had the Instagram page and then you decided to put it into a book, or
Yeah, I started again.
like an awareness thing?
Yeah, I started photographing these dogs, and I photographed 6 or 7 of them. And then I already had the page, I think it was just on the back burner. And then the love letter idea came, probably in 2024. That's when I was like, yeah, I need to do that, and I need to find more of these dogs. And I reached back to the people whose dogs I photographed before and asked them for love letters. And there is actually one dog who didn't make it to the book because I photographed him before I had the love letter idea, and no matter how many reminders I sent to the mom, she did not send a love letter. So I was like, okay, then I can't include the dog in the book because that's now the project. So I can't just use his pictures because, and I know that when I photographed her dog, she didn't sign up for the love letter, so it wasn't on her plans. But I still wanted to include that lovely dog. That's a really lovely border terrier, and there is no border terrier in the book now, which I think it's a shame. There is
that is a shame.
Yeah, there is only so many reminders you can send to a person, and
Exactly.
because it's a well-being podcast. I have to say you have to let it go at some point. So I know that she didn't sign up to write the letter. I know I can't include the dog if there is no letter. I know that she has loads of stuff going in her life. If she does it, good. If she doesn't do it, seriously, it's not my problem. So I'm not angry with her. I'm not disappointed. Obviously, I'm not happy about it because it's such a cute dog. But there is only so much thing that you can put on yourself. And if you are working on a big project like this one, if you get lost in this minutia, then it just never get done.
Definitely. No, do you know what? I love it, Diane, so much, because going back to that stigma as well, is that people see them and they're like, oh God, can they breathe? Can they pant? Can they eat? And yes, they can drink, they can pant, they can eat. They're all things that a dog can still do, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, with a well-fitted muzzle. Yeah, so that was very important that I only wanted to include, and I think I managed to do that. So I only included well-fitted muzzles in the book. Yeah, it's because you see sometimes that dogs can't pant properly, and it's not that these people want to hurt their dogs. It's just they don't have enough information. It's like when people are putting on these halters that are tightening around the muzzle, and it's really hot. And seriously, dogs need to pant, and these people, they don't want to harm their dog. I'm sure they love
I
them.
don't.
It's just not enough information there. So I was really cautious about including muzzles that are well fitted where the dogs can't pan. They can take treats unless it's like unless it's like an eating prevention muzzle. But yeah. And I also wanted to have loads of pictures where the dogs are really happy and playing, because that was the other thing that I heard a lot of people saying, oh, it's so sad, dogs can't be dogs in a muzzle. And that's absolutely not true. There is Bucky, who's in the book, who's playing with her ball and playing with in the water. So yeah, and my dog, I reward her with a ball, see, even today in everyday life. So we have a small Kong ball. She managed to move the wire so she can still pick up the ball, and she just loves it. And again, you can say that damages the muzzle, but again, she won't bite anyway. It's not a big issue.
I love that they're all having fun. They
Yeah.
look like they're having fun. They're
Yeah.
happy. Bucky and Loki, I think they must be after Marvel characters, because Bucky and Loki out of Marvel films. I've got a couple of clients called Bucky and Rocket. They're after some of the Marvel characters. But no, I love that you've got all different types of dogs, like you say. There's the bearded collie Bob, it's nuts, and you've got the Pap, the Papillion, and you've got a few Romanian rescues. I love that there's one called Hope and Border Collie.
Sorry, it's my mistake, or the editor's. Hope is actually Bulgarian rescue.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, Hope's a Bulgarian rescue. No, that's fine. But and there's a Coco. I've got a Coco as well, the Cocker Spaniel. But yeah, I love that you've managed to cover all different shapes and sizes of breeds. And like you say, all the different types of muzzles. Like you said, the sponsors were Baskerville. You've got the muzzle shop, but obviously the muzzle movement. I've had them on one of my other podcasts, the Yappy Hour, and obviously the muzzle movement ones are very bright and different colors, which is automatically going to attract attention. But I just love that they come in different colors as well.
Yeah. I think that's really good.
Yeah, it's so important. Brilliant. Wow. I'd love to ask you, if I may. Obviously, this podcast is all about the person behind the business, the pet business owner, the pet professional. What was it like for you as a pet business owner to then take on the task of writing a book, Diane, or producing a book with all the different photos and the love letters in? Was that quite a stressful or long process?
Yes. I would say the main thing with this project was that it was my passion project. So I was really passionate.
Project.
So,
love that.
So when we as business owners are sometimes a bit reserved, and sometimes we are hiding and don't want to put ourselves out. So because I believed in this project so much, I believe that it's important. I think I reached out at least 50 companies to sponsor the book, because I really wanted to do that. And I was like, I don't care what they are thinking about me. I don't care if they say no. With every no, I'm going to get closer to a yes. And I was really working hard on it. And I did, whenever they said no, I didn't take it personally. I understood that they have different business goals or whatever they were thinking. I was just laser focused on reaching out to the next one. And yeah, I think it helped me grow as a business owner a lot. Because photographing the dogs, that's what I do anyway. So it wasn't a problem. It wasn't taxing. I learned a lot. I'm a dog geek anyway, so I'm not a trainer. I'm a bit, but I'm not a real trainer. I know a lot about dogs. I'm a dog geek, but these dogs, yeah, they taught me a lot. I learned so many things, and I think it looks really good that whenever I have when people are coming to me they want their dog's pictures taken. If they have a nervous or reactive dog, they are going to be more cautious because they've been burnt many times. I heard people saying that, oh, no matter what I say, people are just going to reach out and pet my dog and this kind of stuff. So it's so important to build trust with these people. And I can tell them that, see, I photographed this many dogs that are challenging, reactive or nervous, and there was no problem at all. Some of them, I couldn't go close to them, or I could only photograph them with the long lens because they never let me go any closer. Others started out like that. In the end, they gave me a cuddle. But that's not the goal. The goal is to get lovely pictures. And if a dog gets comfortable enough to come up to me, that's even better, but it's not a requirement. So I think that from a business perspective, it's at so many levels. And again, the hardest part was the actual preparation when I was preparing to do the book and then talking to the publisher. So it's self-published, but I went through a publisher. Then the reviews were stressful. So when they were doing the designs and this kind of stuff and the proofreading and that was stressful, but all the things in between, photographing the dogs, that's what I love to do. So that was really rewarding. And yeah, and I was lucky enough to have my normal sessions in the meantime as well. So it wasn't like, because I didn't want to only meet challenging dogs as much as I love them, and I think they deserve everything. It's just not good for your mental health to only see the dogs that are like challenging and a bit like not the easiest dog you can have. So it was so good that sometimes I had like a break with the soppiest dog ever, and I think that created a really lovely balance for me.
That's lovely. I absolutely love that. Like you say, passion project, but it taught you a lot as well. Absolutely brilliant. And I guess for the doggies and the owners or the guardians, it was like a little mini photo shoot. So I expect they got some lovely pictures as well, didn't they, with their dogs?
Yeah. So from a business perspective, some of the sessions were just to photograph the dog in a muzzle, and then they got gifted a picture. But I also offered people a full session. They actually got one of my full portrait experiences without the muzzle as well, and some people went ahead and purchased some pictures. So yeah, it had a business aspect as well.
No, I love that. Brilliant, Diane. We're going to start wrapping up this episode with a final couple of questions and thoughts. So, my lovely, before we wrap up today, if there's one message you hope dog guardians, pet professionals, or anyone who sees a dog in a muzzle takes away from your brilliant book and your journey, what would you want that message to be?
That muzzle dogs are not bad dogs, and their guardians are doing the best they can.
Love that. Muzzle dogs are not bad dogs, and the guardians are doing the best they can. I absolutely love that. Thank you for that. Diane, if our listeners or viewers would like to find out more about you or what you do, how can they reach you?
So if they want to know specifically about the project, it has an Instagram page, which is _muzzle project. And that's the best place to find out more. If it is about my normal photography, it's Dogs in Focus Photography on Instagram, Facebook, and the website is also dogsinfocusphotography.com. There is obviously some overlap between the two things because I'm the same person. and there is a bit about the project on my website. And there are a couple of blog posts as well, which people can find on my website. And the book is now.
And what I will.
Sorry, I was just
no. Go on, my lovely. I was going.
Yeah, there is a bit of a lag between your sounds. Yeah, so I was going to say that the book is now available on my website. So if people want to order it, the best place to go is my website, dogsinfocusphotography.com.
I didn't realise there was a bit of a delay, so apologies about the delay in the sound. But yeah, that was going to be my next question, is where can they find this amazing book? So we'd rather direct them to your website, yes?
Yes.
Perfect. What I'll do is I will put all the links in the show notes for you as well.
Thank you so much.
And people can, I'll put all your website and links to the book and all your social media handles and links in the show notes. And I will put all that on my website and social media channels as well. But Diane, thank you so much for joining me on the Pet Business Wellbeing podcast with me, Nathan Dunleavy. I've absolutely loved chatting with you today.
Thank you so much, Nathan, for having me. It was my absolute pleasure.
Oh, you're most welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Pet Business Wellbeing podcast with me, Nathan Dunleavy. If you enjoyed today's chat, I'd love it if you could share this with a friend, subscribe so you don't miss future episodes, and please consider leaving me a review as it really helps me reach more pet professionals who need this kind of support. Until next time, take care of yourself, look after your well-being, and remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about building a business you actually enjoy being in. Before I wrap up for today's episode, I just want to tell you about some really exciting news. My new membership for pet professionals, pet business owners is launching soon. The Pet Business Wellbeing Circle Plus with me, Nathan Dunleavy, is launching in June for its soft launch, and then there will be a full launch in July. I'm just busy behind the scenes getting everything ready for you. It'll be an extension of the free Facebook community, so it's going to be group mentoring. So there'll be 2 group mentoring sessions, as well as a community, a theme of the month, and guest speakers. And we're going to be talking all about overwhelm, compassion fatigue, imposter syndrome, everything that comes with running a pet business, but as well as looking after your well-being whilst you do it. So just an extension of the free group. But for those people that may just want to have some mentoring, but would prefer group mentoring rather than one-to-one, and just that sense of community, having that support, I'm really excited about it, basically, as you can tell. So do watch this space, do look out on social media. But the Pet Business Wellbeing Circle Plus with me, Nathan Dunleavy, my new membership for pet professionals and pet business owners, is coming soon. Bye for now.